Thank you for tuning into my series today, You've Been Found Guilty, Now What? We're reviewing both federal and white-collar sentencing options. Today we're discussing minimum camps, federal prison camps versus satellite prison camps. What's the difference? Broadly speaking, all prison camps, they're built and the security levels are based on freedom of movement. Satellite camps are adjacent to higher security facilities. Federal prison camps are freestanding, but there's still a difference. With satellite prison camps, they're adjacent to higher security facilities. And with that, with the higher security, comes less freedom of movement, more so than with the federal prison camp, just based on the fact that they're associated with the higher security level prison. Why is that? Whatever lockdowns occur at the higher security facility are going to be felt at the satellite camp. And it can be to weather, it can be to riots, it can be to knifings, it can be for any reason. And this can be felt by inmates and staff alike. And it's not just dealing with weather or violence within the inmate population. You can also see it with razor wire around the satellite camp. Not all federal prison camps or FPC that have razor wire around them. And then there's the person who's going into prison or into the camp for the first time. Mind you, going into a federal prison camp is not it's still prison, but having the razor wire may still make someone who goes in the first time claustrophobic. And lastly, when you self-surrender to the federal prison satellite camp, you need to remember that you present to the higher security prison. I didn't, and I was told I had to present to the higher security medium facility. And that meant when I went down there to present, I was presenting when they were bringing people in they were shackled and handcuffed. There were guards with shotguns, and the guard towers were active, and it was a totally different environment than just a federal prison camp or the satellite prison camp. So the federal prison camps that we covered, don't be fooled, it's still prison. Some correction staff prefer to be in this less stressful environment, although it's not universal. Lockdowns are definitely less frequent because you don't have the frequency due to the fact that they're not adjacent to any other facility. And you're not going to have the violence that you do when they're adjacent to a higher security prison. This is because the inmates know that if they are convicted of a violent act, they're going to be sent back to a higher security prison, which is behind the wall. And they don't want that to happen. What to bring when you are sent to or self-surrendering to a prison? This should all be documented in your pre-sentence report. Medications. You should bring, my recommendation, this is just me as a physician, you should bring 4 weeks supply of medication, especially if you're going to be presenting on a weekend or a holiday. At best, they're going to let them use them. At worst, they could be thrown out. That's the worst that can happen. If you're bringing other medical devices, they should be attached to everything. If you have glasses, prosthetic, a CPAP, a BiPAP, anything, crutches, wheelchair, they should be attached. Other things you can bring when you're self-surrendering, you bring Bible, you have to bring birth certificate, passport, your license, social security card. You can bring cash. If it's November or December, you can bring more cash. MoneyGrams can then be used monthly, Western Union for monthly deposits. Legal papers are allowed in addition to personal names, including phone numbers and addresses. Our next YouTube is going to be regarding self-surrender. And don't assume that just because the court is going to allow you to self-surrender that it's going to be an uneventful event, because you may wind up facing solitary confinement. And it does happen. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Should you have any questions, I'm easy to find out. There's my email, phone number, a way to Google search me. I've been published online. I hope again that you've enjoyed and this has been helpful, and I hope you have a safe and weekend with your family, and I look forward to our next session.